600,000 years ago, the world was almost silent. The wind spoke louder than humans ever could. A small group stood beside a dying fire. One pointed toward the trees. Another simply stared. Everyone understood the danger, but nobody could describe it. No one could explain where it came from, or where it would return. For hundreds of thousands of years, early humans survived with gestures, facial expressions, and simple sounds. That was enough to hunt, enough to escape predators, enough to stay alive. But it was never enough to build a civilization. Then something extraordinary happened. Not in a single day, not in one generation, but through thousands of years of tiny changes. The human voice slowly became the most powerful tool our species would ever create. No claws, no fangs, no poison, just sound. Scientists still debate exactly when true language appeared. Some believe it began around 300,000 years ago with early Homo sapiens. Others think its roots stretch back even further to Homo heidelbergensis. The truth is buried in time. Words leave no fossils. Bones survive. Voices do not. That makes language one of the greatest mysteries in human history. So how do scientists investigate something that completely disappeared? They search for clues hidden inside our bodies. One clue lies in a tiny horseshoe-shaped bone called the hyoid. It sits beneath your tongue. You can barely feel it. Yet without it, speaking becomes almost impossible. In 1989, archaeologists discovered a remarkably modern-looking hyoid bone belonging to a Neanderthal. That single bone changed decades of scientific debate. Maybe Neanderthals could speak. Maybe they weren't silent cousins after all. Then came another clue. Not from bones. From DNA. In 2001, researchers identified a gene called FOXP2. People born with damaged versions of this gene struggle to produce clear speech. They know what they want to say, but their mouths cannot coordinate the movements. At first, scientists believed this was the language gene. Later, they realized reality was far more complicated. FOXP2 doesn't create language. It helps control the precise movements needed to produce it. Speaking requires extraordinary coordination. Your lungs push air upward. Your vocal cords vibrate thousands of times every minute. Your tongue changes shape constantly. Your lips move with incredible precision, all within fractions of a second. A single sentence is one of the most complex physical actions your body performs. And yet you never think about it. Why? Because your brain learned it before you can remember. But evolution had another challenge to solve. The human brain was growing larger. Ideas became more complicated. Memory improved. Planning stretched further into the future. Soon, gestures alone could no longer carry enough information. Imagine trying to explain tomorrow's hunt without words. Imagine warning your children about a dangerous valley they had never seen. Imagine teaching someone how to make fire using only your hands. Knowledge would disappear every generation, unless someone found a way to store ideas inside sound. That may have been the turning point. The moment sounds stopped being reactions and started becoming symbols. A single sound could mean water. Another could mean danger. Another could mean follow me. Soon, those sounds became combinations. Combinations became patterns. Patterns became language. For the first time, humans could describe things that weren't standing in front of them. They could speak about yesterday. They could plan for next winter. They could imagine places they had never visited. Language unlocked something even bigger than communication. It unlocked imagination. Now an idea could live inside another person's mind, without them ever seeing it. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar proposed that language replaced grooming as the glue holding human groups together. Earlier primates built friendships by cleaning each other's fur. But that only worked in small groups. Humans kept forming larger communities. Physical grooming could no longer maintain every relationship. Conversation solved that problem. One person could strengthen social bonds with many others at once. Stories spread trust. Trust built cooperation. Cooperation built villages. Villages became cities. Cities became civilizations. But language didn't just change society. It changed the brain itself. Every child born today arrives with a brain prepared for language, not with words already inside it, but with the incredible ability to absorb them. A baby can hear every speech sound used by every language on Earth. Within the first year of life, the brain begins specializing. It keeps the sounds it hears most. The others slowly fade away. Your first language literally shapes the wiring of your brain. And that process starts long before your first memory. Think about that. The voice inside your head exists because countless generations kept passing sounds from one mind to another, not through DNA, through teaching. That is one of humanity's greatest inventions. Knowledge no longer had to die with its owner. A hunter could teach a child. The child could teach another generation. Each generation started where the last one finished. Instead of starting from zero, that single change transformed human history. Every book, every law, every religion, every scientific discovery, every promise, every joke, every song, every nation, all of them began with one impossible achievement, turning breath into meaning. And even now, scientists continue searching for the exact moment it happened. Maybe there never was a single first word. Maybe language wasn't invented. Maybe it slowly emerged. Tiny improvement after tiny improvement, across thousands of generations. Until one day, humans could finally tell stories around a fire. Stories became memory. Memory became culture. Culture became civilization. The strange part is that you're continuing that chain right now. Every sentence you speak carries echoes of voices that disappeared hundreds of thousands of years ago. You have never heard them, yet they still live inside every conversation you have. The day humans learned to speak wasn't the day we found our voices. It was the day we learned how to place one mind inside another. And humanity has never been silent again.